ladies. How are you today?
From the moment you walk in the door at Mimosa in Franklin, you know you're in good hands.
Have you ladies been here before?
Julie Ransom, Jules as she's known, is a rare gem.
All right, behave yourself. Or don't get caught. That's what I always say.
The kind of server with the warmth,
How about for you, dear?
the knowledge,
Soy sauce, rosemary syrup that comes on the side.
and the opinions
Yeah, that's how it should be.
to elevate your experience.
Absolutely. I've been a server for 50 years. I started when I was 13.
In all those years, she'd never been a part of something like this.
Okay.
And I want you to have that.
The type of video meant to go viral.
That
So,
would be amazing.
10.
The Venmo challenge left Jules, a server with all the answers, speechless.
He counted the money and I was like, are you for real?
$150 for it.
Seriously?
Yep.
For a lot of people, 2020 has been all too real. Zach Bartlett was living a dream before COVID-19 struck, working for the team he loved as the front-of-house manager at Fiserv Forum.
We had the Lumineers March 11th, and then March 12th, I didn't go to work.
By July, he was furloughed, out of work for the first time since he was 14.
I was on TikTok one day, and I saw a lady do a Venmo challenge, and I was like, that's sort of pretty cool.
The concept is simple.
I told my friends and followers on Facebook and Instagram to donate 25 cents, 50 cents, or whatever was on their heart.
It added up to $220,
No way.
which he gave away to a woman named Cora at North Avenue Grill.
You're welcome.
I thought I was only going to do one, literally one, but when I posted that video and seeing the reactions and messages and comments that I got from people, I was like, well, let's do another one.
And another one, and another. The donations just kept on coming,
100,
each one leading to a
150.
completely random payoff.
200.
There was Gabby Mendoza at Transfer Cafe,
You're actually gonna make me cry.
You're welcome.
trying to pay for her final year of college.
No, I usually work like 3 jobs, but now I'm down to 1 here at Transfer, so this is honestly amazing.
$250.
No.
Yeah.
There's
that's for you guys.
Rakina Walker at Manhattan Mocha,
Zach, you made my day. Probably my week, maybe my month.
40.
and on and on.
I wish you could see my face.
The reactions, a blend of shock and gratitude, usually followed by a handshake or a hug. The rules of social distancing no match for the moment.
And they're like, this is a joke. And I'm like, no, this is just kindness and showing people that there still is a light.
As the kindness continued to snowball this summer, hundreds of people donated more than $5,500, which Zach has brought to now 20 different spots around Milwaukee.
Can I take that for you, dear?
But the day he met Jules stands out, a diamond still shining in rough times.
Thank God they're not turning off electricity in that because I'm just that far behind. Can you do me a favor?
Like plenty of people this year, Jules has struggled to make ends meet.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I just lost my son. I just buried my son.
Her son died without any warning or a chance to say goodbye.
He was loved by a lot of people. So he is very, very, very truly missed.
Never, ever guessed from her personality that she had just gone through something like that.
Bless your day
Very,
today.
very much.
You're welcome.
I have nothing. I'm speechless. I'm usually the one with all the words.
Sure.
That's when it really hit me that we can continue to do this.
Oh my God.
While a $250 tip is a lot of money,
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
it alone won't pay for Gabby's tuition. It won't allow Rakina to expand her business quite yet.
It's good to know that there's still good people out here.
It's a great day to be alive.
And it won't fill the hole in Jules' heart.
It's one day at a time. I have my good days and I have my bad days.
Come say hi.
You're welcome.
Good people.
You never know what people are going through, so just showing that kindness and that positivity to people can just truly touch someone's life.
Am I gonna see this on TikTok?
In a year when we're all starved for connection,
That's your tip today.
the meaning behind that money
This is true. No, I'm not joking. This
can't be quantified.
You're welcome.
To know that there still are good people out there when this world is kind of falling apart. So, yes, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because that really made a difference to me that day.
You got this.
Thank you very much.
This pandemic has its own brand of quiet. Fewer words spoken, people out but still in their own muted bubbles.
Oh, good job.
So it's not hard to hear the joy
good throw.
that comes from just not being cooped up. For the Lamacchia family of Wauwatosa, the stay-at-home order has actually led to quality time.
Oh, man, it was right there.
Dad Ben travels a lot for work, and with that on the back burner,
He won.
he's cherished the time to bond with his boy.
Yes.
Did I get closer?
The bocce balls aren't the only things getting closer these days. Most every Saturday afternoon, the sleepiness of Hart Park awakens very quickly with a sound that cannot be anything but the bagpipe.
In Scottish music, you got a lot of three notes tied together where the first note's lengthened and the second shot goes dan, 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 dan. And that gives it that sort of aggressive feel.
Unless you're really bad at placing accents, you can tell Dave Pollock is a Scotsman, playing an instrument as Scottish as haggis and whiskey. He is not just far from his native home.
Bagpipes, as we know today, it's an instrument of war.
He's fighting a battle that has him out of his American house as well.
It's hard, yes, but you know, sometimes I think you have to do what you have to do, and that's you know, it's for the greater good of our health.
By our, he means him, his wife Kathleen,
His knee looks better, doesn't it?
and their daughter Rachel.
Woo! I was born with a heart condition, and when I'm stressed, it gets worse. And we were really concerned that I'd be at risk and that I wouldn't do well if I got COVID-19. Into the Johnny Blue, I like that one.
With
Yeah.
both Kathleen, a school social worker, and Dave,
Okay.
a Generac employee, facing health issues, they made the difficult decision to live apart to make sure at least one of them would be there for Rachel if things got really bad. Their house is a little too quiet without Dave around.
So that's why he always lets me know when he's coming over. He texts me so I can come over.
He's running an Airbnb, she's at their Milwaukee home.
Hey, Peter.
And Dave hasn't hugged his daughter or kissed his wife since March 16th.
I have a cooler for you, Dave.
The closest they come to each other is a weekly exchange of groceries in a parking lot.
And everything is sanitized.
Supplies they could get anywhere.
And a big thing of toothpaste.
Well, man, I've got something for you.
But Saturdays in the park with Dave provide something they both need.
It's a couple of bottles of wine that have been sanitized.
The connection that comes from sharing a life, even if it's temporarily shared at a distance.
I feel proud, and I find the music really soothing because it feels like home and the background noise of our life. You know, married to the Scotsman, right?
Yeah.
The Scotsman draws a wee crowd, yes. It's not a sight one sees or a sound one hears often.
The reason why I came here was to practice the bagpipes. If other people derive pleasure from it, well, that's a bonus.
It's more than a bonus for Kathleen and Rachel, for the sound of his bagpipe reaches where his arms, for now, cannot.
Woo! Peter!
Raised in a family of mechanics, Bob Bennett pretty much grew up on gasoline.
My uncles were hot rodders. My grandpa was a hot rodder.
Fueled by a love of cars and a need for speed.
That radar's going 147, 147.
Some of it sanctioned.
Track record holder.
Some of it not.
I've never known a state patrolman in any state that had any sense of humor.
On a February morning inside the shop that bears his name, the work and the stories come at the same speed, full throttle.
We do cars for people from all over the world.
Yeah, he can do it all, and it's really incredible to work for a guy who's that talented.
It's a race to the finish for the Bennett Coachworks staff.
We're going to have somewhere between 40 and 50,000 people.
As they get ready for another high-octane exhibition at the Milwaukee Auto Show.
We have been asked back into perpetuity because we're unusual and we bring in cool stuff.
But this year, one change is impossible to miss.
Where are the rest of the guys?
Bob has spent his life cruising around on four wheels. Just not like this.
He actually called me up here from the shop and he said, come here right now because it's not looking so good.
Shift gears to last September, when Bob's life came to a screeching halt.
Didn't feel anything really desperate going on. I woke up around 12:30 and bottom half of me was gone, just gone.
Numb from the waist down.
He said, well, I don't want to scare you or anything, but I'm in the hospital. And I was pretty scared.
Waiting for answers, he instead got this question.
Do you want us to resuscitate you if you code out? And I was just like, first off, am I really that sick?
Put simply, yes, he was.
Do you know where you are, honey?
That's when I heard the term Guillain-Barré syndrome.
A rare disorder without a known cause or cure. Your body's immune system attacks your own nerves.
You have a 1 in 100,000 chance of getting this. And apparently I drew the winning ticket.
It's still happening, honey.
What starts as a tingling sensation or muscle weakness quickly spreads into all-out paralysis.
Watching it transpire was really horrifying.
At the worst of it, I couldn't close my mouth. She was feeding me baby food. I was trying to push it with my tongue. I don't remember any of this.
Remember? This morning you had another treatment.
Like one of his custom cars, Bob would need a full restoration.
And they reported.
They filter all the plasma out, and then they replace it with 100% synthetic plasma. I told the guys at the shop I was going to get Mobile One tattooed on my arms.
After 7 of those oil changes, weeks in the hospital, and almost a month in a rehab facility, Bob finally came home, where life moved more slowly than a hot rodder would like.
It's amazing how you judge your freedoms. I got peanut butter and jelly down.
The little bits of independence that he's gaining are huge in his world and my world.
I just need you to get behind the driver's seat.
As Bob logged those checkpoints on the road to recovery,
Close your eyes. Yeah, okay.
his life spent in the fast lane actually helped accelerate the process.
But, start lapping your favorite track.
His therapist had a simple instruction.
Just tell your feet what they already know.
As for the hands,
That's a good one.
he has Xbox to thank.
The right hand is definitely lagging, but my lap times are back up there where they need to be.
And through it all, the race was on for Bob to make it back to the auto show.
That show's been a big part of my life the last 5 years, so there was never any question.
Good, how are you?
Good.
He'd hoped to be walking by load-in day.
Last night the swelling in my legs was way down.
But instead, and this is saying something, he'll settle for being the most popular attraction on 4 wheels.
I don't think so. It's like every 20 feet I'm stopping and talking to somebody. Oh, there you go.
Putting every car perfectly in place, Bob is back in his element.
Something wicked this way comes. We're here, and it's as good or better a show than any one that we put on.
He's finally ready to rev things up.
I'm going to get back on with my life. Good.
And get back in gear.
It's been stuck in neutral. Good.